It's another weekend meeting of the Walmsley Society, and the Saturday morning AGM is an opportunity for members, most of whom haven't seen each other for a year, to peruse the ever-popular book table. Members can bring rare editions of Leo Walmsley's books to sell to other members, and copies of the newly republished books can be purchased. Once the formalities of the AGM are out of the way, this year sees members being shown rare video footage, some of which is 71 years old. But first, rare archive material from Cornwall shows Leo being interviewed for a local television news programme, talking about his new book, Angler's Boon.
Both Cornwall, Foy, and back in time to my Yorkshire boyhood. And I still can't make out which is the better of the two places. Mainly, I want to get over the fact that there's more in fishing than catching fish. I'm not a very successful fisherman.
Filmed in 1965 and lasting just a few minutes, this film has been restored to enable Walmsley Society members to see and hear their favourite author as he sailed his beloved boat Amanda in the Foy estuary. But the main attraction was colour cine footage made in 1938 by a relative of Margaret, Leo's wife, when he visited them as part of his European tour just before the start of the Second World War. Although lasting a mere 38 seconds, the material has now been cleaned and re-edited to make a video for viewing on the Walmsley Society website. Now lasting just a minute and a half, this provides a rare glimpse into the world of Leo Walmsley, his wife and their 4 children, when they lived at Leith Rig. We see them coming out to be filmed in their Sunday best. They're smiling and happy. In fact, this would prove to be one of Leo's happiest times. It's Saturday afternoon, and to tie in with Leo's father, the painter J. Ulrich Walmsley, well-known television artist Charles Evans gives a painting demonstration. He shows how to paint trees and people. This is just one of the paintings he did. And here's another. Saturday evening, and the seating is still in place. This time for a slideshow with a difference. For 20 years, local historian and author Robin Lister has been giving magic lantern shows in the 19th century tradition. Using a magic lantern that is over 100 years old and showing rare and valuable slides, here he is presenting views of Robin Hood's Bay from bygone times. One of the Society's aims is to republish Leo's books, and to date these have included Three Fevers, Angler's Boon and Foreigners. The last 2 are also available in a special large print edition. This year it was Phantom Lobster that made a welcome appearance in bookshops up and down the country. Copies of this are sold as far away as China and Japan. It was in Robin Hood's Bay in the late 1920s when Leo Walmsley, a down-on-his-luck author of boys' adventure stories, was concerned about the plight of the local inshore fishermen and their attempts to catch the valuable, if elusive, lobster. Up to that time, all chamber-type lobster pots were handmade from timber and hazel and were easily lost in storms. These wooden pots were cumbersome and dangerous to stow on board the fishing cobbles. The wooden pots were awkward to shoot, as, being unwieldy and fastened together with tarred rope, they had to be dropped over the side of the boat. Timing was crucial. At that time, Leo was living in rented accommodation on Littlewood Terrace. Across the path was a wash house that he used as a workshop. And this was where he invented a collapsible lobster pot made from steel, that could be folded. This meant that more pots could be added to a fleet and were easier to store. Each could be erected in a couple of seconds and easily shot. Being stronger, they were less likely to suffer harm from the horrendous conditions off the North Yorkshire coast. In 1933, he wrote the story of his invention, Phantom Lobster. It has been republished and reprinted many times, and this edition is the latest. It's a Sunday walk, and our intrepid ramblers are out again in force, this time being guided around Filingthorpe village by Janet Green. Here she points out various locations of particular interest to society members, including the village blacksmiths, where Leo got some parts made for his prototype lobster pot, and the school, where Leo taught before joining up for the First World War in 1914. Finally, it's time for the traditional Walmsley Society group photograph. 2010 is the Society's 25th anniversary year. More titles will be republished and there will be cause for celebration.